The home office deduction, the business use of home, can be a powerful tax strategy if it's done correctly. There are things you want to look for, things you want to set up properly, and things that you want to have in place to be able to take advantage of this strategy the right way. So, wanted to come straight into irs.gov, the IRS's website, and show you specifically what we need to be able to apply this to your tax return. So, whether you're self employed or a partner of a business, you are able to deduct certain expenses for the part of your home that you use for business, right? It's not a specific room, it's whatever you're using for business. So, then it breaks down the ways to do it. You must use part of your home as one of the following. So, exclusively on a regular basis as your principal place of business for trade or business use on a regular basis is a place where you meet or deal with patients, clients, customers in their normal course of your trade or business. A separate structure that is not attached to your home used exclusively on a regular basis in connection with your trade or business. On a regular basis for storage of inventory of products, product samples used in your trade or business of selling products at retail or wholesale, as long as your home is the sole fixed location of the trade or business. The rental use, which we'll come to in another video for the Augusta rule, or if you use it as a daycare facility, which there's a special way we can structure that. And then it kind of breaks down some of the methods, which I'll break down here in a second. So these are the main ways you can use your business as a tax deduction. Okay. And one of the best things that you can do is take advantage of these things. And whether you're making money on the side to be able to structure this or utilize this, or whether you're not, it's definitely something worth looking into. So let me pull up this visual and I'll kind of break down what this looks like. So the breakdown of the home office deduction is there's two ways that I'll kind of dive into this a little bit later, but you're turning your workspace or just an available space into a tax advantage. So if or if we'll show you how to use part of your home regularly and exclusively for your business, whether it's a side hustle, whether we're creating a hobby business, no matter what it is, and you'll be able to deduct those expenses. So for it to be eligible, you need a regular and exclusive use. The space is used regularly and exclusively for your trade or business. It's the principal place of your business. Again, so if you're running your own business and you want to use a home office as well, but you go to your office, a commercial building, the majority of the time, we'll establish a separate entity. That's what you want to do, is establish a separate entity, a separate business, a family management LLC, a personal brand LLC, whatever it may be. So that way you can take advantage of the home office deduction that way. And then it's got to be a separate space. What you can deduct. So you can deduct the business portion of these home expenses. So mortgage interest or the rent, actually, the full rent, utilities, homeowners or renters insurance, repairs and maintenance, internet and your phone bill, depreciation, property taxes, cleaning and other expenses. So you can deduct a lot when it comes to your property. And you want to definitely just have a photo or record of the layout of the floor plan. That's definitely something you want to have dialed in there. So again, you want to be able to deduct all of these expenses right here. Now it's a percentage or a portion, right? So I'll show you how that works. So how this works. So you have your simplified method. I guess I can show you guys down here too as well. So you have your simplified method, right? This is something that they're just going to plug into the tax return, right? Your traditional CPA account is just going to plug in. It's $5 per square foot of your home office. So if it's only 300 square feet, you'll get $1,500 in a deduction. That's the max. If you go the simplified method, you can only do 1,500. The actual expense method is definitely going to be a larger deduction. You deduct the percentage of the actual home expenses that you're using for business. Okay, and here's the example down below here. So we have the actual expense method. So your home is 2,000 square feet, let's say. Your home office is 200 square feet. The business use percentage, this is how we've calculated 200 divided by 2,000, that's 10%. So now here's all the expenses that you have. Your mortgage interest, 15,000, property taxes, 3, home insurance, etc. These are all of your expenses, and you can times all of that by 10%, which is the business use of your home. This is the deductible amount, and the total deduction is what that is. So almost 2 times the amount of the simplified method by just tracking these things. And this flows to the Schedule C and reduces your taxable income. So, important notes: self-employed individuals and business owners can deduct home office expenses on the Schedule C. W-2 employees can only deduct if the home office is for the convenience of your employer. Rare situation. Again, if you have a W-2, we can create a separate entity, a separate LLC, and you will become a self-employed individual, and we can structure it that way. You cannot deduct expenses that are reimbursed. So if somebody's paying you for that, you generally can't deduct that. If you sell your home, depreciation claims may be recaptured or taxed. So that's something you always want to think about and work through. And always keep good records. That's super important to keep good records. So that is the breakdown of the home office deduction. I hope that helps and gets you a little bit more pumped to try and structure something like this. Again, if you are worried about doing this correctly, that is what we are here for, is to help you do that.